Stampers! Today we're going to make this Angry Birds card. Isn't it cute? And I got a swap card from my friend Debbie Naylor. She said I could go ahead and make a video. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the Poppy Parade and the crumb cake. And we're going to grab the Big Shot. Okay, so we're going to use the Big Shot today. We're going to use the Clears die, the circle. I'm going to layer our acrylic down. And we're going to use the Poppy Parade and the crumb cake cardstock. So you're going to take the Poppy Parade. These both are cut at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then you're going to lay your Poppy Parade over the circle in acrylic. Run that through the Big Shot. Okay, so then you're going to take your circle die again, and you're going to position the circle just inside of the circle. So it looks like this. Let me show you. So it looks like this. So it's going to cut that curvature out of the circle. Place your acrylic. Okay, so there's your circle. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the crumb cake. And this is 4 1/4. You could actually just go ahead and cut another circle, but I'm just going to place it about halfway up on the circle. So it looks like this. Run that through the Big Shot. Okay, so then this crumb cake is going to layer underneath the Poppy Parade like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the Big Shot. Okay, so these are the pieces that we're going to use today. The Daffodil Delight cardstock is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and I went ahead and already sponged that with the Daffodil Delight Classic ink. And then you're going to need the Whisper White with the 1 3/8 circle punch. You're going to punch out 2 of those for the eyes. And then you're going to need the 1/2 inch circle punch with the black, cut out 2 of those. Okay, so then I'm using the Daffodil Delight. You're going to need the 1 inch square punch and the 1 3/8 square punch. And then you're going to need the Modern Label punch. You're going to need 2 of those in the black. And then the Heart to Heart punch. And we're using the medium size heart for that in the Poppy Parade. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and sponge the Poppy Parade. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to take the squares, we're going to cut them point to point to make a triangle. Do both of them that way. Okay, so we're just going to use the one of each of the sizes. Then I'm going to go ahead and sponge that with the Daffodil Delight. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and layer this crumb cake piece behind the Poppy Parade. So it looks like that. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to add dimensionals to the eyes and to the back of the larger square for the beak. So let's go ahead and add the eyes. I'm going to overlap the circles just a little tiny bit, like that, and add the beak. And put adhesive on the bottom section of the beak. And this is going to go over to the left-hand side, like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add the center of the eyes. Okay, so then for the Modern Label punch, I'm going to cut these down to about 1 1/2 inches. So you're just going to trim off one of the edges on both pieces. I'm going to add adhesive. And then I'm going to put the point right to the center of the eyes. This is going to make them angry. Okay, so now I'm going to take the second one and I'm going to overlap that. Kind of like crisscrossing it. Just like that. Cute. So I'm going to take the little heart, put adhesive on the side of that. I'm just going to put this right between his eyebrows. So super cute. Okay, so we're just going to put some dimensionals on him on the back. Okay, I'm going to take the Daffodil Delight. You can position them however you want on the card. I'm going to have him go this way this time. Okay, so then for the greeting, it says, if at first you do succeed, try not to look astonished. And that's from the Full of Life stamp set. And it's the Whisper White is cut at 3/4 inches wide. And then I just layered that onto the black. It's just slightly cut a little bit bigger. Just going to put that right on the bottom. So super cute. Okay, so here's the other one. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.